alternative facts, I'm assuming, mean...
Oh, you're assuming. Go ahead. I've talked about it in many interviews. I wrote a whole book about it.
It's interesting that you decide to come here and know that you're going to be accepting questions from students, and yet...
Okay, so then I'll answer it. Thank you for your question. I gave you a good chance there, and it's a great chance for you because I don't need any more airtime. I get plenty of it.
Hey guys, welcome to JayWalk Journalism. This is Matt Miller, and watch Kellyanne Conway go into the lion's den to the liberal, woke college campus of Harvard University, and she spars pretty hard with this college girl who thinks that she can bring up something that she said in the past and use it against her, throws it at her on the spot in front of all these people. Watch how Kellyanne handles this. She is not somebody that you want to mess with or walk up on like this. Check it out right here.
Let's go over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you very much for being here. My name is Jane Peterson. I'm a second-year MPP student here at the Kennedy School. And I wanted to ask, since the last time you've been here was in 2016, I wanted to ask a question about your job as a White House spokesperson. In that role, you said things that were often pretty audacious, often caused people to question things that they have seen with their own eyes. And so I'm curious, in that role, I was always wondering whether it was a survival response in what seemed like it was a very chaotic White House, or was it a strategy? So was it strategy or was it survival? You know, all the bantering with journalists, the alternative facts. Was it strategy or was it survival?
Do you know what alternative facts meant?
I'm aware.
Can you please explain it for us? So tell the person who uttered it on her third Sunday show the day looking into a blank camera and then immediately said what I meant.
Well, we can also do other examples. I mean,
No, you can answer the question though. You have to be fair. You're not going to go back 8 years and do that.
Well, I asked you a question about your role in the White House.
You gave me two choices. You gave me two choices and they're both inaccurate.
So alternative facts, I'm assuming, mean...
Oh, you're assuming. Go ahead. I've talked about it in many interviews. I wrote a whole book about it.
It's interesting that you decide to come here and know that you're going to be accepting questions from students, and yet...
Okay, so then I'll answer it. Thank you for your question. I gave you a good chance there, and it's a great chance for you because I don't need any more airtime. I get plenty of it. So I think your choices were survivor's response. That's rich. Or since you know nothing about me. Or banter. What was it? Something else silly.
I said strategy or survival?
Strategy.
Not survivor's response.
How about trying to, first of all, my job was counselor to the president. I said no to press secretary. 42 minutes after President Trump was elected, he offered me that job. He said, you'd be great at that. I said, I would be terrible at that. I'm not even sure what they do. Some days I'm still not sure. Clearly I'm not sure after these 4 years. The border's secure. President Biden is behind the scenes. He's a trapeze artist and a triathlete. You just can't see it. So I hope you take these same concerns to the people who have lied to your face for 4 years in this administration, all the way to this crushing defeat of a sitting vice president who could have been the first female president of color in our nation's history, but instead had to eat and own all the lies that had been told by this administration. Alternative facts was very simple. I meant to say alternative information, additional facts. It wasn't George Orwell. It wasn't a new set of facts. And you can read my whole book. There's a whole chapter about it where I explain it. I don't defend it myself. I explain it. And if you want to be judged by 2 words in your life, it wouldn't take me much time to find those 2 words. But I don't do that. I don't look at people that way. Seti, I think we're going to have to go a little bit more deeply than me giving some advice on how people find common ground. I'm very proud that I was able to tell people what was going on in the White House, what the Tax Cut and Jobs Act meant to them, that we had over 100 corporate incursions, that we had U.S. companies legally parked overseas, that since then we've had $2.5 trillion of wealth repatriated this country, that corporations did invest in their research and inventory in their workforce. I just had lunch yesterday with a woman in D.C. who told me her company raised the minimum wage to $20 the minute that passed. It goes on and on. I'm very happy to have told the country that I work for the president. 7 promised to do it, only 1 did. 7 presidents promised to move the embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. One did it. Give back the Golan Heights. Sign the Abraham Accords. Very happy to announce a lot of trade deals. So here's what I do. I look at the full measure of people. And if the idea is to try to cut them down from one thing they said or one bad day they had or one article they wrote, then I wish you a much happier life than all that. So I don't have an answer to a question that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, except to say you can read my book about alternative facts. You can listen to the many interviews I've given about it. It was never actually a different set of facts. And that's pretty obvious. So, and I will say this, you go back to 2016, the media, who I guess just has a whole living of getting the elections wrong, on that they're consistent. They couldn't get enough of Donald Trump and Kellyanne Conway during the election.
So what this girl is referring to is an interview from 2017 on MSNBC where Kellyanne Conway had a slip of the tongue and said that Sean Spicer was quoting alternative facts by saying what Trump's crowd size was, bigger than what other media outlets had reported at the time. And then the interviewer on MSNBC jumped all over it. It became this big news story. And if you go back and watch it, I'm going to clip to it right here.
Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute. Alternative facts? Alternative facts, 4 of the 5 facts he uttered. The one thing he got right was Zeke Miller. 4 of the 5 facts he uttered were just not true.
You can tell exactly what's going on here, but immediately the mainstream media jumps on this and gets on their high horse as if they are the ones that have been truthful and are the arbiters of what is a fact. And of course they aren't. They're major hypocrites. I mean, think about all of the hoaxes and all of the alternative facts that they have spread at channels like MSNBC and CNN. I mean, think about the Jussie Smollett story and how those guys reported with such conviction that this was a racial hate crime, and then it turned out to be a hoax. It was just a melodramatic actor who wanted 15 minutes of fame, and it wasn't real. Same thing with that Covington Catholic high school kid that was smiling, I guess, at a Native American protester. And it was all this made-up stuff that major outlets like MSNBC and CNN reported on, and saying that this kid was racist, he was wearing a MAGA hat, he was mocking them. Again, turned out to be totally false when the video came out. And that proves right there that these networks, that they're the arbiters of the real facts, not the alternative facts, apparently. They're interested in jumping on a story if it confirms the narrative that they are paid to push. And they're going to check the facts after, if at all. And they'll issue a correction probably only when they're sued. And yes, Trump has called the media fake news because they're the ones with actual alternative facts. I just named 2, but you could go and rattle off many, many times that the mainstream media has twisted and contorted actual facts to fit their narrative. I mean, think about the Russia collusion hoax as well. Something that it was a drum that they beat for years. And again, they had such conviction. They had all these experts, all these people coming on saying Trump was guilty of this. And the election was, basically, they were saying the election was rigged against Hillary Clinton with the help of Russia. And all of that fell on its face. And what did the mainstream media do? Did they come out and apologize and say, hey, we got it wrong, we're sorry, we strive for excellent journalistic standards and only report the facts, and we owe you a massive apology? No, they didn't do that. They just carried on telling the next story that confirmed their narrative, trying to attack Trump, trying to condemn and ostracize his voters, his supporters. So they don't deserve this high horse at all. And this girl, this college girl, she's smarter than that. She's going to Harvard. She knows what she's doing here. She's trying to take somebody who misspoke and hold them to the implied meaning of what they didn't mean to say. And that's not being intellectually honest in a debate. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments. Do you think Kellyanne did a good job here defending herself? If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you guys get notified when we post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.